Eric, greetings. Hello there.
Morning.
How are you? Hi, I'm Seymour Segnet. This is Eric Kinney, two of your small MagFast team here for today's update, September the 1st, well, Friday, September the 1st, 2017. I'm still in Silicon Valley. I'm just in a room rather than office at the moment, working on a number of things for us. And I wanted to talk this week to you about scale and the difference between making a business that's kind of only ever going to be this big and making one that has the potential to grow. And our vision from the beginning, with your support, was always that MagFast can and will become something really phenomenal, a brand that you feel proud to be involved with because you were there from the start. You were there from the start, right, Eric? Feel proud to be involved. And that means a number of things. For instance, manufacturing. And everyone, when I first got involved with this, I couldn't understand why manufacturing takes so long. And the answer is, if you're setting up so that you can then really safely and at really high quality make tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands, and then millions of units of a product, it's a very, very kind of careful process. But I was just thought we'd go through quickly a whole bunch of things that we could already have in place and that we're working on that allow us to scale. So first of all, the website. Eric, actually, you do it. Let's zoom in on Eric. You do a lot of work on the website. Take us through a couple of things that we have done, like from the beginning, from the ground up. We've done one or two things that allow the website to scale. So if we're lucky enough to get a rush of publicity or a launch, like we did a little while ago, we can handle the traffic. How do we do that?
So with the website, one of the key things is templating system. We use WordPress and we use templates, and so we can create small variants on, there's products that are in the system, and so we can create variants on things quickly and adjust and not be bogged down with time. So we can scale what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good point. In fairness, a lot of small businesses use WordPress or one of its competitors, and that's a great idea because it allows you to move quickly. What about when there's like a lot of traffic to the site?
So that's going to be on the back end. We use Google Cloud and Google CDN, so that we've got basically unlimited capacity. We could be aired on NBC or some TV network and just absorb that right in. It scales in flux as we go. So,
and the brilliant thing for you, if you, I mean, we see very much one of our roles here is like to kind of share the journey with you. And if you're involved in a small business or you want to start a small business, it's kind of like, we're an open book here. Ask us, really, hello at magfast.com. I mean, ask us anything that you want, and we're happy to share the knowledge that we have. But these days, it used to be that 5 or 10 years ago when Eric and I were first doing this, that it was incredibly expensive to have this website that could handle the traffic. And now, I mean, I think our monthly bill with Google to have all of this capacity ready to go is like $50 or $60. So that's not the cheapest web hosting in the world, but to have something that's able to handle anything we throw at it, it's kind of insane. I mean, it would have been $1,000 just a few years ago. We also, part of being able to scale means that as things get bigger, there's obviously, like, for every 1,000 customers there's a certain amount of kind of customer care or whatever that's necessary to do that. And at the moment, Amanda, who's isn't with us today but is working every day, as many of you know, is just like the ultimate customer service department, right? She's super smart, she's delightful. She's not 24 hours a day, but she's always on. I mean, she loves, this project is her life, as it is for all of us. The challenge is, as we scale, Amanda can't, she can only handle so much, and she has many other duties as well. So we are, and the challenge, as we all know from customer service, is that most of the time when you get in touch with customer service for companies out there, is that it's lousy. It's really, really lousy. And even the best companies have difficulty kind of maintaining quality across the board. I had an incident with Apple a couple of days ago, and ultimately it was fine and amazing. But I mean, there were a couple of bits in it where I got someone who it's okay that he didn't know this area, but it wasn't okay that he didn't pass me on to someone who did. So even the best companies slip up. But with that in mind, we are doing a project with a company called TrueSource. You would have heard of them, who essentially are some of the best customer service executives from Apple, from Sprint, from Microsoft have come together to create a company that specializes in outstanding customer service that can move from very small to, handling small amounts of volume to large amounts of volume extremely quickly. And so we're working with them to create this intersection between like the best practices in the world at customer care, right, mixed in with what we've learned about our beloved MagFast family and what you guys need and want. And we put those together, and then we have something that provides very near the same level of kind of intimacy that we have at the moment, but just with the ability to do this as more and more people join the family. We're incredibly blessed and excited. And the funny thing about TrueSource was that I had an experience with them. I can't remember if I told you about this a few weeks ago, but I had an experience with them as a consumer, as a customer the other day, because one of their clients is Google, and they handle the support for Nest, which you may know. Nest is the really fantastic thermostat. I highly recommend it if you haven't got a Nest thermostat. It's just the best thing. Saves a boatload of money on energy. It's really cool. So they do for Nest, and then they also Nest have some cameras, I think, which I don't have any of their cameras, but I do have their what's it called, alarm system, Nest Protect, which is a carbon fire and carbon monoxide.
Smoke alarms.
Yeah, and one of the alarms went on the blink because I have, I think, 4 of them, and the oldest one, which is now quite a few years old, started like going off all the time, and this, that, and the other. And man, so I just called the customer service number, and it was like unbelievable. Like they answered it in no time at all, and the person was right on it, and bum 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 bum. And it was just the most efficient, brilliant experience I've ever had with customer service. In that particular case, there was a replacement. Was the policy? FedEx were knocking on my door the next morning with the new one and the envelope to send back the old one. I mean, the whole thing was just spectacular. And that's the team that's going to be doing our customer service. It's like, what else needs to scale? Manufacturing, I already mentioned. Our friends at P3 have done this. They've shipped, countless millions and millions of products over the years. They shipped over 300,000 of our last product. The quality was impeccable, but it takes time to do it right. And there's always you guys get this, but there's always 1 or 2 backers who are kind of like, right, really urgent about the timetable, and like, we're still good for next summer as promised. We're, it's running a little longer than we'd hoped, but by a few weeks, not by anything dramatic. And the thing is, what we're building is something that has to be great for millions of units for years to come. And so there just isn't any point in cutting a corner in the meantime. And I know that you understand that. And the other thing is, how do we have fun while we do this? Because life is too short. Eric and I, as you can see, we're neither of us spring chickens anymore. And we think it's really important to have fun as we go along. And I hope you get that kind of vibe as we develop this relationship over the coming time. Just a fun, on the subject of fun fact. If you have been with MagFast since the start on March the 21st, you may already know this. But when we first offered MagFast to the world, it was, what was the exact time, Eric? It was 12:35, was it? And 9 seconds or something, Eastern on March the 21st. Was that it?
Yeah, like
it was something like that.
Yeah.
We have it, and
35:04 after the hour. That's
35:04 after the hour. Okay, so Eastern midday, 12:35, and how many seconds? 4 seconds. That was the moment at which I said, look, if you'll give us a gift and buy Life Charger and Life Charger Extreme, we'll give you the gift of giving you all of the other product in the Pro Kit. And that was when I first made the backers offer, the initial backers offer, and in 10 minutes and 11 seconds, we did $250,000 in pledges. $250,000 in pre-orders or pledges. And so we've applied to the Guinness Book of World Records for this. I don't know if we'll get it or not, But in the history of business, I don't think many people have done a faster leap out of the gate for a brand new business to getting to $250,000. And as you know, that the number hasn't continued at that rate since then, because we're setting everything up to scale now. We're putting everything in place. We're putting the main thing I'm working on at the moment is financial systems, because the banks get scared when you're moving really quickly. So we're putting in place what's necessary to be able to run lots of funds through the company in a way that the banks are happy, and that you're safe, and that everything works great. So that's cool. Scale is incredibly important, so I just thought it'd be useful to do an update talking about that this week. Your questions, please, to where? Eric, where should they send questions?
Hello@magfast.com.
Yep. Hello@magfast.com. Hello@magfast.com. We will answer them here. Amanda will be back with us next week. And we'll go through all the questions that have assembled there, and she's answering them on an ongoing basis at the same address. One final thing is, if you're going to be in Los Angeles this coming week, September 6th and 7th, I will be at an event at the Los Angeles Convention Center. It's called the Crowd Invest Summit, because that's why we're here, is because God bless you, the crowd. We love what we're doing, and you've supported us. And there's this new area, which was, I think I've mentioned this before, that the Obama Jobs Act, I think it was in 2012, but the regulations finally came in place about a year ago, that now allow the crowd to do actually an investment rather than a pre-purchase. And so that's a kind of an area of interest, something we feel like, whether or not it's the right thing for us, we feel it's something that we should know about. So I'm going down for a couple of days to check that out. I'm on the West Coast anyway. All right. Thank you so much for supporting us. You're amazing. Hello@magfast.com, and we will see you next week on September the 8th. Thanks, and have a fantastic week.